Hello everyone, it's Dr. Sami and we'll have another episode of the Luminaries, which I'm hosting with a lot of persons that will be putting you through life, discussing mistakes, discussing success. So I want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, watch the video to the end. Tell us what you think, tell us about our mistakes, tell us about our success too. So when you watch and you like, it's going to push the video to the next person, and the next person will also have the knowledge that you've enjoyed. Thank you very much as you do this. Hello everyone, it's Dr. Sami, and today's episode of the Luminaries podcast, we're going to talk about something that is very important. Most of the times we'll be hosting a lot of people who talk about their success, and this time around I want to host somebody who is going to not just talk about his success, also talk about the damn bad, the failures he encountered on getting to the beautiful tree. So, can you please humbly introduce yourself, Dr. Casey, properly how you want to be introduced?
Okay. My name is Dr. Kelechi Ubikalu. I am an optometrist. I graduated last 2 years, but I inducted last year. So it's nice to meet you, Sammy.
Nice to meet you again. So, I would want to just dive straight into the conversation. I would like to ask, there is a popular saying that optometry is CCAs plus. Okay, so the CCS plus is determined by you either add plus zero or plus one or plus two, as the case may be. So can you tell us about your journey? How was it?
Okay, my journey in optometry, it was wonderful. I had upside, I had downside. I faced many challenges, a lot of challenges that is maybe conversant. It's conversant with everybody, sha. Optometry will teach you a lot about failure, and you realize that failure is not actually the end of the world. I think I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how to deal with failing, and how to come back up when you face challenges. You know, when I came into school in my 100 level, it wasn't optometry I wanted to study, sha. I wanted to read medicine. So on my first year, I wrote JAM when I came into school. After I've gotten optometry, I wrote JAM to my fourth year. I think that was when my challenge started, when I started having problem. I did well. I did very well in my first year. I did very well in my second year. I did very well in my third year. Okay, my third year was when because I've written JAM the first time for medicine in year one, it didn't work out. I wrote for medicine year two, it didn't work out. So third year, I wrote again, and I was very confident. I was very confident that it was going to work out because everything needed to facilitate it and make it work was already in place. So I was already, my heart was already made. I had confidence that I was going to definitely leave. But as God will have it, or as will I say, as God will have it, because at the end of the day, I'm still grateful that I'm here. As God will have it, the admission didn't pull through, so I had to face the challenge of switching, because when the admission didn't come through, I felt very bad. Writing my exams then in my 300 level was very, very stressful for me mentally. So after which the 300 level, I had issue with ocular anatomy. That was even the beginning of my challenge in APSU. So because I had the challenge and I was just so down, I couldn't face it, emotionally. I felt like, because I'm a good student, so I felt like my world has ended. But I had to man up because it was a 3 unit, and you were there now, 333. I think nine each in 300 level. I think we had 334 units. So I think I had issues with two, and anatomy and ocular anatomy. I couldn't go back to go and rewrite it because of the shame, the pressure, and I felt like I was supposed to be in medicine, and I was not in medicine. So, and around that same year, which was it was around 2019, 2020. 2020 was a very, very devastating year. Actually, I lost my friend. So, but I'm not going to also add that it was part of my
The issue.
challenges, my challenge, but because I went through a lot emotionally that time. I lost my best friend because he was in medicine and he was always encouraging me to switch over. So I
Mm.
was always telling him I was coming to join him. So it felt like my world has finished when it happened to me. So I had to just man up by my and all of this that happened to me, my parents were not aware.
Mm.
Nobody was aware. I was just fighting my own battles myself. In
Mm.
optometry school, everybody's fighting their battle. Everybody's fighting. Everybody have their own challenges that they are
Mm.
facing. So I had to just face mine and started seeing. And in my fourth year, I also took another risk. I had to register all the courses I had, all
Mm.
the courses that I had issues with. I put them plus the other ones I was going to write, carried everything at once
Mm.
because I wanted to you know, juggle it all. And from there, in that fourth year, in my fourth year, I passed most of it, but I still had issues with a good number of it. Then there was this course that I had issue in my second year. Sorry, in my third year, because third year is when did we do 464? That was fourth year, right?
40.
Yeah, fourth year. It was in my fourth year, and that 464 was always a load.
Mm.
I had issues with it twice from my fourth year to my call it fifth, sixth year, and it was a whole lot. I remember going to the lecturer. The first time I had it was around 47 or 48. I remember going to beg Professor Ahama then. He told me he wasn't going to add any mark for me. The third time when they said where there was mass failure and it was around there, was it 41 or 42?
Mm.
And they said they were going to push us. I think push us to like 46. They pushed me to like 46. I still went back to the lecturers to see if they could push me to 50. They still didn't push me. So it was just back and forth. At the time, I felt like giving up on the whole thing. And I felt like just going back home. But I was ashamed to go and tell my parents because after my admission in medicine didn't work out, it didn't come through. My parents told me okay that I should finish up. That what is going to happen that I'm going to do direct entry in medicine. So I told them no problem. So I didn't know how to go and tell them I was facing challenge in school. Do you
Mm.
understand? So I just had to find the courage to just keep moving up to fifth year. Fifth year, I was lucky.
So at that point where you are begging them to add mark for you, have you cleared the third year courses?
Yes, I've cleared most of the third year courses. Do you
Mm.
understand? I've cleared most of the third year. When I've cleared, because the following year I wrote my ocular anatomy, I passed. I wrote my anatomy. I had B in anatomy, and
Mm.
ocular anatomy I had a C. So I've cleared those ones.
Mm.
So the courses that were difficult to clear then was that 464
Mm.
because that 464 is like 5 units,
Mm.
and you know what it means to already have 5 units in your space blocking. You
Mm.
understand? That was when the issue was. That was when the challenge was. So it was just difficult because it was as though these lecturers they were just keeping me at the point.
Mm.
So I'm not going to. Will I blame them completely? But because I felt very bad. I felt really very bad then. Like going back again, and it got to a time, self. This kind of thing you'll be having. You just be scared about everything, and even it got to a point I was doubting in myself. I was doubting in my capacity. Like I was even asking myself, why do I need to study optometry? Is it necessary? I had to even because during the COVID,
Mm.
I had to when I came back to my house, I had to, everybody was telling me, and then in our house, everybody didn't like the course. They were like, they don't do surgery, what's optometry and all that. And me, I didn't know anything about it, so
Mm.
I had to just take my time and I went to an eye hospital very close to my house, Embassy Hospital, and I went there and I saw things. And the chief optometrist, Dr. Mike, very good man. He started, telling me
Okay.
things, and I just started observing things, and I started realizing that it was just beyond just selling of glasses,
Mm.
and just just doing glasses and all of that. I started getting motivation to want to push further, want to push more because at that point I felt like giving up. Honestly, I felt like giving up on the course. My fifth year I was lucky. They pushed us to final year.
Mm.
And fifth year I didn't have any issue, but it was still that 464 I was carrying as luggage.
Mm.
Fifth year, I didn't have any issue.
But wait, I want to. You have you said something about you're not totally going to blame the lecturers, and
Yeah.
also I want to ask, because you said you're not totally going to blame the lecturers. There are situations, because we are all students. We
Yeah.
had situations where students will fail a particular course, and they feel like it was the lecturer that made me to fail. And there are situations where you just know that you did not write well. That one is a different thing altogether. And you have this situation of you have people that have missing scripts. You have situations like 00F. 00F is maybe a situation whereby you do not pay school fees before the time of the exam. You are likely going to have issues
Yes.
like
Yes.
00F. So I want to know which one, which one is your particular issue. Are you going to say they failed you?
The truth is this. The truth is this. I can't really recall everything. I'm just only going to pick the ones I could recall. You understand? Because I can remember I had one of the courses that I had 00F, and the lecturer told me to go and rewrite it. You understand? And I can't remember which, but I know that there was a course like that. And when I rewrote the course, he didn't still pass me that course. He didn't still pass me that course. And
So my question now, you said he didn't still pass you.
Yes.
Did you think you were supposed to pass at that point and he did not pass you?
the truth,
That's what I want to get.
yeah, the truth is this, because lecturers, the truth is this. I feel like like I said, I don't really want to go back to old memories. You understand? I don't want to go back to old memories. For me to, I don't know, some of our lecturers, some of them, not all, made the way things were, made the way we were taught, you know. And I had a particular challenge, relevant, particular to me. You understand? Because number one, I didn't really have so much interest in optometry. So I was trying to get interested in it. So the courses that I had is like that course. I can't remember. I remember going back to the man, going to him to his office again and again, and so like and by the grace of God, I didn't owe school fees from my first year to final year. So I was always paying school fees on time. So I told him I paid my school fees. I had this thing, and man was like that I had to go and rewrite. And when I rewrote the course, guess what? My failure in optometry APSO were just failure of 45, 46, 44. You know, the only course I know I had 39 was that ocular anatomy. And the next year I had this C. Every other course was just 45, 46, and you go to the lecturer and you beg the lecturer, and the lecturer refused to add mark. And you see he will add for some persons and not add for some persons, especially those that met earlier. So I will not want to come and say, because we are all colleagues now, I will not want to come and say this person hated you. Do you understand? That was why he didn't. Do you understand? Because as you're suffering it, other people too are suffering it as well. So I will not want to like come and say, this lecturer didn't like me. Do you understand? Obviously, I know that there were some lecturers. I don't really, me personally, my kind of personality, I didn't really care. But there were some lecturers that, they had their favorite students and people who were not their favorites. But me personally, I didn't really care about those things. My own was, the thing that optometry taught me is that failure is not the end of everything. Failure, you have to, if you fall. I remember one of my friend, my very good friend, is in here. I remember the day before I traveled to Port Harcourt, I told her I was not doing again. I told her I was done. Like I was going home. I've already gone home to go and pack my stuff. I've gone to my lodge to go and pack my stuff. I said I was just not doing again. And she kept on pleading. And she was one of the biggest, will I say, one of the persons that I know that gave me so much support while I was in APSU. She kept on telling me that she knows that I'm more intelligent than this. She knows that I'm smarter than this, that this is not what I am. And she knew my predicament from the word go, that this wasn't it. So up to my final year was when things became much easier. But optometry, when you have load already, to be very difficult for you to clear up. The reason why I had another challenge was because up to final year, I had in my fifth year, was it fifth year? I didn't have any issue in my final year. Okay, I only had one issue in my final year, community eye care. And community eye care, I think it was, I can't remember, but I don't know whether I wasn't in class when Omaka came in, and the people that came to class, he gave them score CA, and the others that didn't come, he didn't give them C or something like that. So I think I missed that. I missed the CA. So he didn't add any CA for me. So when I went there, I kept on going to meet him. He didn't do anything about it. So I think they used, was it 10 units to screen us, and I had 11. So I went to go and plead to HOD, and he said there was nothing that he could do. That I could only just make up, and it was a very difficult thing
This
for me to do
was
when I was in our set. Do you understand?
that was 60.
Sixth year. So it was a very, very, very tough thing to do. See, you know, you have to have the mental courage to fight, because you realize that you don't need to stay there stuck. Do you understand? And already, why I started getting strength to fight was because God has already told me that, look, you're going to practice this and you're going to do well practicing it. And I was already getting some, like, clarity, conviction that I'm supposed to be here. You understand? And I was already knowing what I wanted and what I didn't want. So I just told myself that I was going to look beyond this phase. You understand? And just make sure that I clear with this phase to move to the next phase.
So did you think you would have done well or better than you did if you had the clarity on time?
Yeah, I think if I had faced optometrics squarely from my 100 level, I think I would have done, because I told you 100 level, 200 level, up to 300 level, I did so well. You understand? I think I was on 4 points.
But you're not supposed to on you are not your success is not determined with your 100 level. I feel like 100 level, 200 level, you are not even in optometry.
Yes, my success is not determined 100 level, 200 level.
100 level, you are doing secondary school.
Yes,
200 level, you are doing so many borrowed courses.
Yeah.
So you get to 300 level, feels like the 100 level. So I feel like if you start having problem from 100 level, that means you start having problem from 300 level. That means you start having problem when you get to optometry. You got into optometry, which is third year, and you start having problem.
My problem, I just told you that my problem wasn't just only because when I graduated from school, I sat down to recap my journey, and I saw my challenges. I just sat down to reflect on the challenges I had, the problem. And I think one of my major problem was, I'll first say it was my fault, because I'll first want to take responsibility, in the sense that, after that point, because I desperately wanted to change medicine. There was even a time my parents were saying I should consider going to a private university. So it got to a point where my mind was no longer, and it was in that my third year, because as of my third year, I was already determined. I've written JAMB and I've scored the highest. I think I had over 70 or 80 or thereabout, because if you score high in JAMB, you understand, you're supposed to switch over to medicine, and APSU will always be APSU. You understand? So I already had that confidence that I was going to leave. So when it did not just work out, and honestly, I was reading for JAMB, I was reading for my school exams, but I gave more focus to my JAMB, because I felt like I was going to definitely leave. Even when I was to school, I know I didn't have so much friends. You understand? When I even really started getting to connect more with people was towards my final year, towards the end. I know that by final year, everybody has already formed cartel, everybody has already formed clique, everybody have already, so you're just late.
So what was your reaction when you find out you are repeating, this is it? What was the reaction?
I just told you that it was just a mental thing to tell myself it's not the end of the world. Do you understand? And it doesn't mean you'll be successful or you'll be a failure.
And all of this, you've been talking about the 30th challenges, the 40th challenges, and 50th challenges, and you said your parents don't know about it. So what was their own reaction when they find out that
my parents,
you are repeating?
My parents weren't aware of my problem to my final year. That was when my dad retired. I think they were not aware of my challenges that I faced, and I didn't want to put it to them, because I didn't want them to be disappointed in me. You understand? So I just had to tell my dad that, see, I just had a challenge in school, final year challenge, and he was not happy, honestly, that because a lot, when you're that kind of person that everybody is expecting a lot from you, you understand? So when he told me that, I wasn't I just had to just like I told you that final year it was very difficult for me, very very difficult mentally, like struggling with the shame, struggling with you know you feel ashamed, you feel like it's a setback. Do you understand? But you realize that it's life. Do you understand? And you're not competing with anybody.
Yeah, you're actually competing with yourself.
It's just yourself. You realize that you just have to. If you don't, because if you don't do it, you will not live. You still be there, and you're still wasting more time. But all the same, I'm just grateful to God because I just had to advise myself. I had to encourage myself, and I had a very good supportive person, Dr. Isne. She always used to tell me, "Ah, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up." Even times when because people will be looking at it like it's sweet, you're, and it's the truth is this, and I want people to know is this: studying optometry and having challenges doesn't mean you're not intelligent. It doesn't even mean that you're not that you can't pass or you're not smart. Do you understand? It's just part of the challenges that comes with life. There are people who are lucky in life and they don't have challenge. They don't face any problem. Why there are some people that will always face. If you have challenges, if challenges come, one of the things people do when they have problem is that they allow the challenge to weigh them. If life hits you down, you just I don't want to sound like a motivational speaker, but it's the
You're
reality of
actually a
this.
motivational speaker because you cannot just go through all of that and don't have something to say. That's why you
My
are here.
motivation.
That's why you are here. That's why I'm hosting you because I have a lot to say.
I don't feel like if life hits you down, you just have to find a way to get up and keep pushing. It's not the end of the world.
I had an opportunity to host a lecturer, and one of the things he said it was that it is not it's not normal for you to fail. That you can just go through optometry without failing any course. You just have to study the what you are supposed to study the lecturer involved, what is the pattern to follow everybody. That's how you get out of optometry. And for him and for you now, you're saying something like it's part of the challenges. There are some people that are lucky and there are people that are not lucky. They are going to face challenge. So do you really consider it that the people that went through, like, we have the best of the best, we have so many people who are first class, do you think it's just luck that brought them to that place rather than hard work and their dedication to the cause?
Like I said, there are people that yes, like I said, hard work. Yes, there are people that worked hard. You understand? There are people that they put in their best to get to where they are. You
Yes.
understand? They did their best, and like life rewarded them, and they passed their exams. See, school is just like life to an extent. There are people that work hard. There are people that still read their books. It's not like me personally. It was ocular pathology, a course that I know I read. I stayed awake all through the night. I read all through the night. Like I was reading it constantly, and I still when this thing came out, I still had 46, and I was like, did they time my own biblical call to 46? I'm 47.
Do you think you wrote the right thing?
Yeah, of course. Am I the one going to judge? Yes.
You know why I've asked you this question? Because my conversation with the lecturer, he said, if you think that you pass a particular course, come, your script is there. Your script is there. Bring out your script. Let's check it with the marking scheme.
We are in Nigeria. We are in Nigeria. You know the educational system in Nigeria. No student want any lecturer to mark them. That is what you should understand. Not like we can't just come and rival your lecturer. To be as if you're challenging.
No, it's not. It's not.
Wait. There are lecturers you just can't. You're just trying to show yourself or prove yourself that you think you wrote well. Do you understand? I want you to understand that these things are real. These are possibilities. Do you understand? That is why, like I said, one of the things you have to understand is you have to understand the environment. You have to understand where you are. If you are in Europe, you can get to say, let me challenge and see what I wrote. Do you understand?
So what do you think should be done? So people can write and we are supposed to pass and they get failed. They are supposed to live with it.
The thing is this, I'll say from my own experience, when I saw my failure, I just had to encourage myself. Do you understand? This is not the end of the world. Definitely this is not. There were courses that I know that...
I know somebody.
Yeah.
who wrote, and he felt like the score they gave him is not his score. He challenged the process, and they gave him his score. So what are you going to say about that?
Yeah, like I said, he was bold enough. Okay, he was bold enough.
So
like,
should I blame it on you? You are not bold enough to challenge your process.
See, there's something about when you're trying to learn how to deal with failure. When you're facing challenge and failure comes at you at that, if you're already used to the energy and the strength to go to fight for it, is different from somebody who has not been failing. Do you understand? And I don't know how to explain this. Failure, when you start failing, or you, let me not put it, failure is not a bad thing. Let's not have that bad perception. Everybody, nobody, and the fact that you failed doesn't mean you didn't work hard enough. There are people that didn't work hard and they failed. That one is obvious, yes. And there are people that still put in their best and things didn't work out. But that doesn't mean you're not smart. That doesn't mean that you don't know. Do you understand? All you have to do, if you don't have, because some people will go around, I know that this is also from my own observation. Lecturers perceive students differently. Do you understand? A lecturer, there are some students that can walk in and they can allow the student to challenge. Oh, and there are some students that they're like, who is this person? We all know that. Do you understand? We all know that. There are some lecturers that will tell you, why are you coming into my office to come and...
So what do you think is the difference between the lecturer that was allowed to come in and challenge anything and the one?
Is it the student? I just told you it's just the perception of the lecturer to the student. I remember a lecturer just, when I went in, I don't want to call the lecturer, I don't want to call the course. I just went in and the man just told me, who am I to come and talk to him about my course? I should go and rewrite it. I should get out and go and rewrite it. Do you understand? I felt very, and me personally, I hate embarrassment, any form, any sort. Do you understand? So I just looked at it and that's it now. Just I got to a point in optometry where, you know, I've developed strong, tough skin that when I see it, I'm no longer moved like, is it right again next year.
You know, one of the reasons why I have this conversation with people who go through optometry and students generally, and also if I have opportunity to host a lecturer, is because I want us to have, I feel like the society is shaped from our institution, and I feel like one of the challenges we have in school is that we don't really have that lecturer-student relationship.
Yeah, obviously.
In Nigeria. So yeah, I've been chatting with lecturers, and from their own end, they feel like they always tell you that if you come, we are open, we are free. No, I want to, let's get to that point. Let's build the confidence of students to the point that they will be able to challenge and say, sir, can I know where the problem is?
Can you really challenge a lecturer?
Can I?
Can you really?
I don't.
Can you really? Let's be honest with ourselves.
Personally.
Yes, can you really?
You should know. I can challenge everybody.
I know that.
I can challenge everybody,
you know that. Me now, personally, with what
I can challenge everybody.
With the way I've grown now, with the level of things I know now.
Not arrogantly, but I can challenge everybody.
With the level of things I know now, I think I can. But when previously, there were some things I didn't like to come and be, you know.
So you say
those things will change who God is.
You say so many things about not being a failure. So do you think, because I think you just failed, should I call you a failure now? Because wait, I'm not yet there. Because you just supported Arsenal.
Arsenal. Why you guys are talking Arsenal now?
You supported Arsenal to me. And you failed.
No,
you failed.
Let me tell you something. This is what I want you to realize. This is what I want you to realize. Let me tell you. Know that match was just, if you watch it very closely, Arsenal put in their best.
They did not put in their best. Don't go there. You cannot say they put in their best by playing 22 possession.
Let me tell you something.
That's killing the match.
Let me tell you something about life. And this is what people need to. I'm not trying to motivate anybody here, but sometimes that is the how will I put it? Know that match was just, if you watch it very closely, Arsenal put in their best.
They did not put in their best. Don't go there. You cannot say they put in their best by playing
You don't
22
see.
possession.
Let me tell you something.
That's killing the match.
See, let me tell you something about life, and this is what you people need to. I'm not trying to motivate anybody here, but sometimes that is the how will I put it? I don't know how to describe it. Sometimes
6 minutes go.
It's the unfairness of life. Let me put it that way. I think I've watched a game before that I think Man United and Ajax. The time Ibrahimovic was there, so we are going towards sports. I wanted Ajax to win. Ajax outplayed Man U by far. Ajax played, but Jose Mourinho, he did what Ateta played yesterday. You could see Jose Mourinho. He played all
According
all
to
the
statistics.
Wait.
What Ateta played is the lowest of the lowest.
No.
Nobody have played below. Nobody have played below 25.
The start was almost.
They are not almost.
John, the start was almost. It was almost the same thing. So you cannot come and say 100% that this thing is just life. Sometimes you win, you lose. It's the game of football. It's life.
Scoring 6
It's
minutes
life.
early.
It's
and
life.
and you watch the pattern at which they score. You notice one thing.
Yeah.
It was an error from defender, and they scored. So what makes you think that had it been that they played the match, they came out to play, they would have had more opportunities of defenders making mistakes and them scoring more. So they wanted to kill the game.
No, do you know that?
So them, listen,
yes, okay.
Them packing to the box was not making the game interesting. PSG had a weaker defense. They had stronger defense. So had it been they came out to play on a 50-50, there will be chances that opportunity that came that made them to score should have repeated itself over and over, because you are playing 50-50. But they decide to pack, and it's what packing makes